Hi all, welcome to another little outing with Mark here. So before it's on the table, I've got this beautiful Harris Tweed fabric. This is really lovely, and it's from a great cloth merchant called Holland and Sherry, one of the great cloth merchants around. So this is from them. Now some of you may have seen this fabric, and this was actually, I redesigned this, my client's late granddad's jacket. It was full of moth holes, and I redesigned it, put new collars in, put a lovely back yoke in. It's based on a Norfolk shooting jacket, and he loved it so much he wanted a pair of trousers to match it, what I did with all the panels around on the jacket. So basically this will be a suit now for him. Now I'm going to give a few little tips of the day as I go along making these pair of trousers. I'm making a pair of trousers for him. Usually tailors will, what we call, they will direct draft, which basically means they'll chalk and draft a pair of trousers actually on the cloth. I'm not doing this method for my client because he's had quite some trousers and he's going to have some more along the way. So this will be second pair now. I think he's going to have maybe a few more anyway. So I've basically made some patterns for him. So I've made a trouser pattern, the top side, and I've done the underside as well. Which is, we need, because we're actually going to cut these trousers out, I'm going to give a few tips along the way for some of you that may want to get into cutting trousers. Now, before we do that, if you've got plaid, stripes, checks, always make sure they are straight. So get your long meter ruler, whatever, make sure your check, your stripe going down is straight. So you can use your fingers. Can you see what I'm doing? I'm making sure that stripe is not lopsided, it's not going off, veering off. Because you don't want to have stripes or checks that are not straight. It's really ugly when you cut them out. So just be aware. So that's vertically, I've done that. And also do it horizontally as well. So I'm just going to get my ruler there. Just make sure that's fine. And then just use your fingers to go up or down. So those stripes will be, that's good to go. There we have, that's one tip. Also another tip, always press your fabrics. Make sure it's got all the creases out and everything is fine. And sometimes you can pre-shrink your fabric a little bit as well as you steam it. Sometimes I do it. I've done it if I learnt from some tailor doing this one. Everyone's got their own methods. So, right, now, also, because these are stripes, you always need to match up the checks. Because this is check. You've got to match up the checks on the inside seam as well as on the outside seam. So, the way I do this here, I use my knee as my balance points. This is very, very important. And a lot of sewers neglect the knee section here. I notch my knee. Usually I'll put my notcher in. So I'll notch my knee, which I should have done when I cut it out. I forgot to. So I've got these little notches. They're pretty good actually. And I'll notch my knee here. And it's really important. This knee section here will be your balance marks. And a lot of sewers, when they sew, because you've got such a long seam going from the hem to the top and the inside seam going down, it's quite a lengthy seam. What happens, they'll get one leg, the outside leg there, and sometimes it's not matching because it's been cut incorrectly or one side may stretch. They'll pull it, and pulling that can actually twist the seam because they stitch right from the top all the way down. I don't do that. I learned from a great trouser tailor, a great little method which I'm going to show you now. And he always taught me to always use your knee as your balance points and stitch from the knee down and the knee going up. And that way you'll ensure you'll get a good accurate sewing run. So there we have that. Now another tip, if you're going to be doing checks or stripes or plaids, I use my knee here, my balance points here, for my stripe going across. I can see a maroon colour there. So I'm going to use this maroon colour. So I'm going to use this maroon knee here, there. Yeah, I've got enough to here. I can go up another stripe here, that'd be fine. So I'm going to use here, can you see that? There's my stripe there. And you can get your little ruler or what rulers you've got. And then I use this maroon stripe going across, and then I can just do little dash lines. Draw a line. And now there's my maroon line there. Hopefully the camera's picking up that stripe going across. And then I'll strategically place my knee line right exactly on that maroon line. And that's good here now. That's fine here now. Also, see my trouser crease line here. I always put this on the stripe because when you've got a real pronounced stripe, it looks very dynamic. It looks really good as a design feature. So I've got my maroon line there. So I'm going to put my crease line exactly on there. So if I get this off, get my ruler again. There's my maroon line here. So I'm going to use this ruler just to get my line. I can see it. You might not pick up on the camera, but I'm actually going along that maroon line going up vertically. There we have that. So I've got my maroon line going across and my maroon line going down. That will be the stripe of my crease line here. On the crease line there. So I'll place that my knee line first on the maroon line going across. And when I cut my underside, I will use this as my balance mark to cut my underside on the knee, which I'll show you in a minute. So there we have that. And I place my crease line exactly there, which is good there. Now that's perfect there. That's it. Now I can cut this out now. So there we have that. Now when I'm going to cut my, if I can find my underside, once I've cut my top side out, what we call the top side, the underside now, I'll make sure where my knee mark, where I've cut the maroon line out here, exactly there, my underside will be exactly on that line. It will ensure everything will be matched up. All the stripes and checks and plays will be matched on the side seams. And there we have that. So I'm going to cut this out now, and I'll get back to, I'll give you little glimpses into how I cut and sew pure bespoke trousers. I'll give you a few tips and tricks along the way, and hopefully you'll join me on this journey of making a pure bespoke pair of tailored trousers. So on that note, everyone, I will say ciao for now. Thanks.